Have you ever thought about how internal discord can be as detrimental to a community as external threats? It's a thought-provoking question, isn't it? Now, let's transport ourselves back in time to an ancient community grappling with such issues. We're delving into Nehemiah Chapter 5, a chapter where the narrative shifts from external opposition to internal challenges. Here we uncover a community wrestling with social and economic injustices, a society where the cries of the oppressed echo through the streets. The Israelites, in their struggle to rebuild, face not just the threat of external enemies, but also the strife within their own ranks. Yet amid these challenges emerges a leader, Nehemiah, who confronts these internal issues head-on. His leadership, marked by integrity and sacrifice, serves as a beacon of hope in tumultuous times. As we delve deeper, let's ponder how Nehemiah's leadership addresses these internal challenges. What does it mean to be a leader in times of social and economic injustice? Nehemiah's leadership in Chapter 5 of his eponymous book provides us with a compelling answer. When confronted with the cries of his people, Nehemiah didn't turn a blind eye. Instead, he courageously addressed the nobles and officials, calling out their injustices. This act of bravery underscores the necessity of confronting social injustices head-on. But Nehemiah's leadership didn't stop there. He led by personal integrity and example, choosing not to take his food allowance as a governor and lending money and grain without interest. This selfless act illustrates the power of leading by example, setting a standard of integrity for others to follow. Lastly, Nehemiah and his officials made personal sacrifices for the betterment of their community. Their actions remind us of the significant role personal sacrifice plays in the welfare of a community. Nehemiah's leadership teaches us the importance of addressing injustice, leading with integrity, and prioritizing the welfare of the community. What invisible truths does Nehemiah Chapter 5 reveal about God's heart for justice? This chapter unveils God's deep passion for justice and equity. It subtly suggests that internal discord can be as damaging to a community as external threats. Beyond these truths, there's a promise embedded within the narrative. Nehemiah's prayer in verse 19 reflects the assurance that our acts of righteousness and justice do not escape God's notice. Nehemiah Chapter 5 reminds us that God values justice and that our acts of righteousness are seen by Him. How does Nehemiah Chapter 5 reflect on the spiritual revival of a community? Unearthing the deep layers of spiritual revival, we see Nehemiah restoring unity, harmony, and justice within the community, signifying a renewal of their spiritual fabric. Concurrently, a recommitment to godly principles is evident as the people pledge to walk in God's ways. However, the chapter also exposes sins such as exploitation of the vulnerable and neglect of the poor, awakening us to the confession and rectification needed. Nehemiah Chapter 5 underscores the importance of social justice, community welfare, and righteous leadership. It serves as a powerful reminder that internal injustices can be equally detrimental to a community's spiritual and moral fabric.